Imagination is more important than knowledge.
Positive thinking does not work for negative thinkers. It only makes them feel guilty.
You have the power to change the way you think anytime you want to.
We have the ability, through a thought, to change our blood pressure, our heartbeat, and our skin temperature in less than 1/10 of a second. Outside of physical violence, no one does anything to us, and no one makes us feel anything. Nobody makes us angry, no one makes us jealous, no one makes us envious, no one makes us depressed. This is not a dress rehearsal for another life. This is the ball game.
What I would like you to do is to take your hands and put them together like this for me. A simple exercise this morning. Good. Now take them apart, move them over one digit, and put them back together. And shout out some adjectives that describe the difference from here to here. Different, awkward, what else? Weird, what else? Uncomfortable and strange. Good, thank you. Those are pretty good words, aren't they, to describe change? And they also describe all growth. Now, that means we have to be willing to be uncomfortable or strange or different in order to look at something in a different way. I'd like you to make a fist. Press it against the palm of your hand for me. Press it a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. Now, I didn't say to resist with your other hand. See, I think resistance is genetic. I think the moment we're presented with anything different than what we believe, after about the age of 4 years old, the natural tendency is to resist.
Change happens in one of three ways. Some catastrophic event happens to us, to someone we love or the world, and suddenly we change the way we think. Or we look around us and we notice everyone else is changing and we think maybe it's a good idea. Well, the problem is by that time it's usually too late for our health, our family, and our organization. The third way, and the healthiest and most empowering way to change, is by looking ahead to where you want to be and to take action for that change now. We're going to call that place we want to be in the future a vision. A vision's not a goal. A goal has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's often pretty mundane and boring. Goals, by their nature, are limiting. The moment we set one, we limit ourselves by putting a ceiling on possibility. On October 18th, 1968 in Mexico City, an Olympian by the name of Bob Beamon beat the previous record set in the long jump 7 years earlier by an unbelievable 2.5 feet, making a total jump of 29.5 feet. That record held for 20 years. This year, it was beaten by a mere 2 inches. The mindset for that 20 years was that Bob Beamon's record could never be broken. The goal became the limitation for 20 years. Goals are baby steps to get to something larger, more compelling. Life is fast and busy. We often get so caught up with our moment-to-moment short-term goals that we lose sight of the big picture. All successful individuals and organizations have one thing in common: the power and the depth of their vision. Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." What he meant is that the imagination is the force which creates what we call reality.
I have a half of a lemon, and I'm going to take a bite out of that lemon in a moment. Before I do, I'm going to ask you to imagine, as I do this, that you're biting a lemon with me. Now, in order to do that, you have to recreate a lemon. You have to remember, of course, that it's yellow and it's a little bumpy and there is juice inside of this lemon. So I'll count to 2 and take a bite out of it, and you pretend or imagine with me that you're biting the lemon, okay? 1, 2, you put it in your mouth.
Why did you have that reaction? Because your imagination is that powerful, and because there's a part of your mind which cannot tell the difference between a real or an imagined experience. It's important that you understand what I just said. There's a part of your mind that cannot tell the difference between a real or an imagined experience. It's called your subconscious. You just created a chemical change in your body with your mind in less than 1/10 of a second. That's powerful stuff. It's called communication. And I didn't do that to you. You did, with your imagination. We have the ability to change our body temperature, our heartbeat, and our blood pressure with a thought. If you can do that, and you can, what else is possible? You may not know it, but you have that kind of effect on yourself and others all the time. It's the way you communicate with yourself and others that either prohibits or promotes taking those quantum leaps. There are no limits in your imagination or anyone else's. You can, within you, go anywhere you want to go or be anything you want to be. You have the power to change the way you think anytime you want to. I want you to take part in a demonstration with me. To do it, you're going to need a length of string approximately 10 inches long, and on the end of that string, you're going to tie a washer or a weight, a key, a ring, whatever you have available. Now, I want you to draw a circle on a piece of paper like this.
Pick up your string and your washer. Hold the string so the washer's hanging down. The weight is on the bottom. Hold the weight suspended approximately 1 inch above the center of the circle. So you're actually holding it over the center of the circle. Okay, I'll just give you about 10 seconds to get your pendulum out here. All right, now, what I want you to do is this. Look at the line that goes from the left to the right, and I want you to simply imagine the washer moving back and forth from the left to the right. Focus. Think. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Focus. Concentrate. Think in a circle. All you have to do is think. The movement will follow. Now don't stop there. Think bigger. Make the circle bigger. Focus and concentrate. Focus. Concentrate. See it in your mind. It will happen automatically in the body.
How about that? You just a little bit surprised? I hope so. If there is one point I want you to remember, it is that you always move in the direction you think. And if you think the way you've always thought and do things the way you've always done them, you will continue to get exactly what you've always gotten. Your thinking is in your control. Have you ever used visualization or mental rehearsal? You have, even if you haven't called it that. You just did it with a pendulum. You've rehearsed your outcome of your goals all your life. You see Olympic athletes do it all the time before they perform an event. They close their eyes and imagine. Sometimes you see them nod their heads when they've got the picture. They're rehearsing success. You do it too. And the result of your visualization is the quality of your golf swing, how you present a speech, how you sell a product, how you treat a customer, how you ask for a date, and even how you invest your money. You visualize the outcome of your goals all the time. I want you to take part in a simple experiment with me. Imagine yourself sitting under a palm tree, watching a plane take off, being caught in a rainstorm, winning the lottery, seeing a fire engine racing down the street, or being with the person you love. See what I mean? In a flash, you were able to create a multitude of realities in your mind without moving from where you are. You have the power to create and control your thoughts. And the creation and control you choose to take will allow you to react whatever change comes your way. I'll share a little secret with you. Stress does not exist in the world. We create our own stress by how we choose to react to external circumstances. You see, there is no mystery to visualization. There are numerous examples of the power of positive visualization. Jack Nicklaus, one of the great all-time American golfers, has said that visualizing his shot before he takes it has been the key to his success. I remember a story of a world-class pianist who was interned for years in a POW camp. Every day he practiced playing the piano in his mind. Within 3 months of his release, he was back playing professionally. Visualization, or mental rehearsal, is at the core of all success. All mind research shows that you must see yourself and experience yourself as already being successful before you can be successful. When you visualize yourself successfully, handling a tough management assignment, presenting a marketing strategy, selling a product, or giving a speech, you gain self-confidence, which affects your attitude, which influences your behavior, and determines the outcome. And then there's the negative side of visualization.
And they're called fears. And there are 4 major fears that stop us from moving forward. Fear of rejection, fear of change, fear of failure, and fear of commitment. Now, fears aren't the kind of fears when you're standing up there and you're out there going, well, I don't understand what he's talking about. We all have these fears to some degree. The question is, are the fears a motivating force that pushes us, or our children, or our employees, or our customers, or is it something that we vision in the future, that we make up in our mind, and then we start to make choices to avoid the very thing we're fantasizing? So fear is fabulous when you start to do that little click in your head. Fear is really false evidence appearing real. In other words, fears don't exist in the world. They're like that slide projector back there. We project our fear out on the world, and then we act as if it were true, creating it to be true. And there's only one way that we can move through our fears, that we can use our fears, and that we can encourage other people, help other people to use their fears. It's by committing to something greater than ourselves.
There is only one way to break out of the box, expand your horizons, change, grow, and stretch. It's by turning fear into power and taking risk. There are financial risks, emotional risks, risks of change, letting go of control, love, and esteem. To help you understand, I've prepared an example of risk-taking. As you watch this, I want you to ask yourself the following question. Looking at my personal and professional life, what would I like to accomplish, and what risk would help me get there? I hope you enjoy it. What do you think of when you hear the word risk? Something silly, dangerous, stupid, outrageous? Well, there are all sorts of risks. Saying I love you could be a great risk. Giving someone a hug, losing weight, taking a ride in a hot air balloon, or even jumping out of a plane. What stops people from doing what they say they want to do? It's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of commitment. So why am I about to jump out of a plane? Now, I'm not jumping out of a plane to motivate you to jump out of a plane. I'm jumping out of a plane to show you the process of a risk. It's by understanding how a risk works that empowers you to take the risk. Have you ever thought about taking a new idea to your boss and suddenly that little voice talks to you in your head? What if he thinks I'm stupid? Have you ever thought about telling the truth in a relationship and you start thinking, yeah, but what if the person gets mad at me? How about in sales, that first cold call and you're worried about being rejected? How about starting your own business? Yeah, but what if I fail? There's a big difference between taking a risk and taking a chance. Taking a chance is foolish. It's rolling the dice on a table. Taking a risk demands that you gather all the information you can to minimize the chance for failure.
Okay, Jim, I'm Jim Wallace. I'll be taking you through the training today to go up and do the skydive and so on. What we're going to do is spend just a little bit of time telling you about what you're going to do on the skydive, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and why you do it. So if you have any questions as we're going along, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, why don't we kneel down here and let me give you an idea of what we're going to do. Let's have you move just to the side here if you don't mind, thank you, so you can see the storyboard. Okay, basically what it boils down to is once we get all the gear on you, which is the harness and so on, everything completely adjusted, we'll have a
So once you decide to take the risk, what happens next? Well, that's when the what-ifs creep in. What if this happens? What if that happens? Now it's time to do a reality check. Figure out what are the positives, what are the negatives, and what's the worst that can happen? And are you willing to have the worst happen? Well, you may be asking about a skydive, the very worst that can happen. But I know the truth. I've done my homework. Statistically, skydiving is safer than driving a car. The next step, preparation. Prepare, prepare, prepare.
Right now we're in the door of the aircraft, although we would be kneeling, okay?
Yes.
Ready, set, go. Good. Ready, set, go. Assume, wait for that tap, don't you spread. 3 to 5 seconds. Now you get to spread. Spread your legs, bend your elbows. Give me some, that's it, give me some pressure, perfect. I know it works, okay, look at that altimeter, pretend it's down there. Back out at the horizon. Altitude. Look at the altimeter again. Horizon. And altitude this time says 5,000.
5,000. Signal. Look. Wait.
There it is. Get that thumb in it and do it. Come on, stop that skydive. Good man, relax all the way. Good job.
Thanks.
You ready to go?
Yep, ready. Thanks.
Excellent. That's good. That's real good. That's exactly what I want. You give me half that up there, we got it made.
Now I'm starting to feel some real anxiety right down in my guts, feeling a little nauseated here. Yeah. And I'll tell you, this is the difference about taking a fear. You have the thought, you do all the training in the world, but I got to tell you something. Action is the only thing that makes this real. Action. And that's going through with it. And I got to tell you right now, I'm having a few doubts. Yeah. Oh, geez. Whoa! Oh.
Go around!
Yeah, I'm real
Not
scared.
too short.
We jump? About 2 minutes.
2 minutes before we go?
Jump run.
Yeah? It's still a little fog. Should I keep
Yeah.
them away? Or is that...
They open the door, that will also help us. Yeah. Don't clear once you're out of free fall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Raise up, sir. Fear is the
Okay.
power. Take your time.
Okay.
Have at it.
All right, okay. Okay. Oh, man. It's cold up here, I'll tell you that. Whoa, look at that. Okay.
Good. You keep your hands in. I'm going to take mine out.
Okay. I'm in.
That's a little turbulence. We're getting a little hot air coming up off the desert floor. That's what this bumpiness is.
All right.
Not yet. Heads up.
Heads
Not
up.
yet. Get ready.
Ready.
Get ready. Flare. Stand up.
Okay.
Let go. Let go.
Yes! Yes!
Right on.
All right! Woo!
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent job.
oh, oh, yes. Oh, a little shaky here. A little shaky again.
Okay, one moment.
Woo! Oh, that is
Welcome
a
to a
peak
new
experience.
dimension.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much. Thank
Oh,
you. You can go ahead and
well,
take your hat off, take your goggles
Okay.
off.
Oh,
It was a pleasure.
oh, boy, I tell you, I am so high right now. Oh, and real shaky, but real high. And it's overwhelming. I can tell you something. Very intense. Very intense.
What you just saw was 7 minutes of a 6-hour taping session. During that time, I was given extensive training as to what to do. I was made to feel comfortable. I watched others do the jump. I was prepared, and still I hit a wall. For a brief moment, even with all that preparation, I made up my mind not to jump. Let me tell you what got me out of that plane, and I guarantee you it wasn't what you think.
the vision of what I wanted to do for people got me out of that plane. And when I talk about vision, the question is your personal vision, your vision for your family, your vision for your organization. There are many different visions.
The goal of jumping out of that plane wasn't enough for me. Vision moves you to action. So again, I ask you, what is your vision for your life? And what risk could you do today which could propel you forward to take that quantum leap?
It's very easy to say, I have a vision. I'm willing to change. But when the time comes, will you take action? Will your vision of what you want, personally and professionally, be compelling enough to take the risk? Is it powerful enough for you to take the quantum leap? If you make the choice, the rewards will be endless.